Hello, good morning students. So today we have to conclude this chapter. Okay. Did you all finish your notes? So last class we covered how the revolution affected the daily lives of the French people and also the abolition of slavery in French colonies. So today I am going to take the conclusion of this chapter. So we already studied that after the period of Robespierre, there was a government or a body called Directory, and in this directory the executive body consisted 5 members, and in 1800, because of the political instability, in 1800 a new ruler came in France, and that was Napoleon Bonaparte. So in 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte crowned himself as the Emperor of France. He declared himself as the Emperor of France. Okay. So just after declaring that he was the Emperor of France, he started conquering the European countries, the neighboring European countries, and he managed the administration of these countries by placing the members of his families on the throne of these countries. Okay, so the members of his own family were appointed as the rulers of the conquered regions. So in 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte declared himself as the Emperor of France, and then he started conquering the neighboring European countries, and on the throne of these kingdoms his own family members were placed. And he considered himself as the modernizer of Europe. Okay, so actually he implemented or he introduced many reforms there, and he considered himself as the modernizer of Europe. So he introduced many laws such as the protection of private property. Then uniform system of weights and measures provided by the decimal system was also introduced. Just mentioned about the reforms of Napoleon. There is famous Napoleonic Code of Napoleon. There is no need to go in detail about that Napoleonic Code. So just 2 or 3 reforms of Napoleon that is given in your text. Okay, so he introduced many laws such as the protection of private property, then uniform system of weights and measures. In almost all the conquered regions, they followed under the leadership of Napoleon. There was a uniform system of weights and measures. Okay. So initially the conquered regions also considered him as the liberator. Okay, liberator who would bring freedom for the people. So in the beginning, when he conquered the European countries, he was considered by the people of these regions as the liberator, but gradually the people began to realize his motives. So the Napoleonic armies gradually they began to behave like invading forces there. And at last in 1815 he was defeated at Waterloo. Okay. So the Napoleonic age came to an end with this defeat at Waterloo in 1815. So his measures could bring revolutions throughout the European regions and even the continents out of Europe. Okay, so revolutionary ideas of liberty and modern laws in other parts of Europe, that is the most important impact of Napoleonic rule. Revolutionary ideas of liberty and modern laws in other parts of Europe. So what is the legacy of French Revolution? What is the main contribution of French Revolution? So ideas of liberty and democratic rights. First point, ideas of liberty and democratic rights are considered as the most important legacy of the French Revolution, and it spread from France to other parts of Europe, and in these parts of Europe there were the feudal system, there was the existence of feudal system, but with the coming of Napoleon or by entering these regions of Europe, the feudal systems were abolished. In the beginning of this chapter I mentioned about the feudal system, that landlordism. Okay, so in other parts of Europe there were feudal systems, so with the coming of Napoleon, feudal systems were abolished in these regions. So the colonized people, it was a time when the world was under the rule of colonial powers. Okay, even in India there were colonial rulers like the Portuguese, Dutch, English, French, etc. So these colonized people, they also got the idea of freedom, democratic ideas they got from the French Revolution. Okay, so they wanted by getting these democratic ideas, they began to think of establishing sovereign nation states. Okay, so the two great personalities who were greatly influenced by the French Revolution in India were Tipu Sultan and Ram Mohan Roy, Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Okay, so legacy of French Revolution, all over the world people began to get democratic ideals from the French Revolution, mainly the ideas of liberty and democratic rights. So it spread from France, all these democratic ideas spread from France to other parts of Europe where there were feudal systems. Okay, then even the colonized people got the ideas of freedom from this French Revolution, and they began to think of establishing sovereign state. Then the two great personalities who were greatly influenced by the French Revolution or who got the legacy of French Revolution were Tipu Sultan and Ram Mohan Roy. So this chapter over. Once again I will explain this conclusion. So in 1800 Napoleon came in power when there was political instability as a result of the conflict between the directors and the two legislative councils. In 1804, Napoleon declared himself as the Emperor of France. So he started conquering the European countries and placed members of his family on the thrones of these European countries. And he considered himself as the modernizer of Europe. And he introduced many laws in these conquered regions. Protection of private property was there, then uniform system of weights and measures were followed in all the conquered regions. Then initially he was considered as a liberator who brought about freedom for the people, but gradually the true nature of the Napoleonic forces were realized by the people. They behaved like an invading force there, and at last in 1815 the Napoleonic age came to an end with his defeat at Waterloo. Then his measures were the revolutionary ideas of liberty and modern laws in other parts. So these measures could spread these ideas, revolutionary ideas of liberty and modern laws in other parts of Europe, and it is considered as the most important impact of Napoleonic rule. So the most important legacy, ideas of liberty and democratic rights. So these ideas spread from France to other regions of Europe where there was the feudal system. So with the coming of the French Revolution, the feudal system came to an end in Europe. Okay, so even in the colonized, even in the colonies of European powers, there was the ideas of freedom, and people thought of establishing sovereign nation states. And in India, the two great personalities who were influenced by the French Revolution were Tipu Sultan and Ram Mohan Roy. So, chapter over. So, I am just going through the last part of our notes. Explain the triangular slave trade carried on during 18th and 19th centuries. Okay, today you will get these notes. So the triangular slave trade was carried between three continents, Europe, Africa and America. So the slave trade began in the 17th century. So the French merchants started sailing from the ports of Bordeaux or Nantes to the African coast. Why did they reach the African coast? From there they got the slaves from the local rulers. And these people, these slaves were branded and shackled, and these slaves were packed tightly into the ships for 3-month-long voyage across the Atlantic to the Caribbean. So we already studied that in the Caribbean there were the French colonies. So there they were sold to the plantation owners. And the exploitation of this slave labor made it possible to meet the growing demand in European markets for sugar, coffee, indigo, tobacco, etc. So we studied that for these things there were great demand. So the port cities like Bordeaux and Nantes became prosperous through this flourishing slave trade. Okay, so triangular slave trade between the three continents, Africa, America and Europe. Okay. So how was slavery abolished in France? So during the time of different governments there were discussions about the abolition of slavery. One of the most revolutionary social reform of the Jacobin regime was the abolition of slavery in French colonies. Then throughout the 18th century there was little criticism of slavery in France. National Assembly held long debates about whether the rights of man should be extended to all French subjects, including those in the colonies. But they didn't pass any laws. Why? Because they were in fear of the opposition from the businessmen who became prosperous through the slave trade. Okay. So it was finally the convention in 1794 made laws to free all slaves in the French overseas possessions. So this, however, turned out to be a short-term measure. When Napoleon came in power, he reintroduced slavery. Then plantation owners understood their freedom as including the right to enslave African Negroes in pursuit of their economic interests. Finally, it was abolished in the year 1848. So if the question is for 5 marks, you have to include all these things. Okay. So the effects of abolition of the law of censorship in France. So in the old regime, all written materials and cultural activities were subjected to censorship before publishing or before its performance. They were these written materials and activities were performed and published before the censors of the king. But when the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen came, there was no need of these, because all these were considered, the right to express was considered as a natural right. So the number of newspapers, books and printed pictures, everything increased, and they moved from the cities to the countryside. So people began to discuss about the ideals included in these written things. And there were many debates and discussions regarding this, and freedom of the press also meant that opposing views of events could be expressed. So people were free to express everything, express their views even against the government. So each side sought to convince the others of its position through the medium of print. Printed tracts and newspapers not only spread the new ideas, but they shaped the nature of debate. And the illiterate people, they got the ideals, democratic ideals, through the plays, songs, festive processions, etc. And the literates, they go through the written things. Okay. Then explain rise of Napoleon as a great conqueror. France was ruled by the Directory, an executive made up of 5 members. However, the directors often clashed with the 2 legislative councils, who then sought to dismiss the directors. The political instability of the Directory paved the way for the rise of a military dictator, Napoleon Bonaparte. Then last one, legacy of the French Revolution. Ideas of liberty and democratic rights were the most important legacy of the revolution. This spread from France to the rest of Europe during the 19th century, and in these regions at that time there were feudal systems. So with the coming of these ideas, feudal systems were abolished. Then further, these ideas spread to different colonies of the European nations. Colonized people interpreted and molded these ideas according to their respective needs. This was probably like seed for the end of colonization in many countries. Okay. By the mid of 20th century, major part of the world adopted democracy as the preferred mode of rule, and the French Revolution can be termed as the initiation point for this development. Here you can include that Indian personalities, Tipu Sultan and Raja Ram Mohan Roy were also greatly influenced by the French Revolution. It is an important question. Okay.